Hey there. This is number 8 of That Is So Wrong. What's so wrong? What's so wrong is that people have their hands in your life's quilt. Let me tell you about this. This is not my idea. Yesterday or 2 days ago, I was online and I listened to people, on Facebook. And some lives I listen to, I don't know who they are, but they just pop up. You know how when you're on Facebook and you see a live pop up, and I said, look at it because people look at mine. Excuse me. And so I go, okay, I'll look at hers. And this woman was on a vacation in Hawaii somewhere, and she loves to go to Hawaii. She calls herself a nerd, and she loves history and to find out what's going on. And so she was talking, and she said, she just asked, how many people have other people's hands in their life's quilt? So I think she saw a quilt at the museum in Hawaii, and that prompted her to think that. So I read that, and I said to her, I'm going to use this in my live. She goes, oh, go ahead. So it's cool that I did let her know I'm going to use it for my own stuff for the people that listen to me. So it's so wrong that somebody else has their hands in your life's quilt. Who has their hands in your life's quilt? For me, what that means is your life is your life, and you work it out and live it and design it the way you like and the way you know how. And if you didn't know that you're responsible for designing it and you can design your own life, then now you do. And as a person that's right here to tell you, when I learned that I was in control of my own life and that I could design it however I wanted, I went man. But it didn't surprise me because I'm metaphysics. I'm metaphysical. So I believe in the laws of the universe and all those things, and we do create our own reality. So if someone has their hands in your life's quilt, should those hands be in there? It's not like the hands in the cookie jar. That means you bake the cookies and they're in a jar and somebody can come in and get a cookie out. But if their hands are in your life's quilt, that means they're making your life with you. They don't belong there. If you decide to create your life and add someone else in your life, that's cool. That's your choice. But if your life is being created by someone else, I don't know. Not so good, in my opinion. Not so good. Because you can decide how you want your life to be. So answer me this. Just, think about it. Whose hands are in your life's quilt? We all know what a quilt is. A quilt is it starts off small, but you have either scraps of something, whatever you want to have in your quilt, and you sew it together methodically, patiently, lovingly. And usually we give these quilts away for gifts, or we keep these quilts. But this quilt is your life's quilt. And that means all the things and pieces you put together in your life, before your life, whose hands are in there? So, some hands that are in your life's quilt, you didn't think about it, and you didn't choose those hands. But that's different. But then as we get older, the people in your life, you decide to keep them in or out, to let them in or out, to spend time with them or not. Because what we don't think about right now, I always do, but every day we're trading our time for what we're doing, and our time never comes back. So all we have is the now. All we have is this right here. And this is our quilt that we're designing. We're sewing it together every single day, our life's quilt. So ask yourself, who has their hands in your life's quilt? Are they bringing something great to your quilt? Did you ask for that swatch of something? Do you want it? Does it benefit you? Now listen, this might sound a little selfish, and I'm here to say that we all have to be selfish initially, because as we all heard, self-preservation is the first law of nature. If you're not okay, then no one around you is okay. You can't take care of anybody else if you're not together. And self-preservation is the first law of nature. Now, I'm a former flight attendant, and when you're on the plane and the woman comes down the aisle and she points to the front and the aft and the sides I did that as a young girl for American Airlines. And we'd say, and there's something else on the plane, and the oxygen mask drops out of the sky. please put it on your face first, then your child or who's next to you. Your face first, because if you can't breathe, your baby can't breathe. You have to do it first. So your life's quilt is your life. And you might think, oh, I'm not involved in my life. You need to be, because whatever you want in your life would happen. If you don't like how your life is right now, or there's some changes that could be made in your life, look at your life and understand that your thoughts have put your life just how it is. If you like how your life looks or not. But the empowering part about this is, if you know now that your thoughts create your life, which you think about all day long, and you think, well, I think good thoughts, and my life still doesn't look good. What that means is unconsciously something's going on, and you have to learn how to deal with that every single day to change, to break through that and change it. So back to the original. It's so wrong that someone else has their hands in your life's quilt. Ask yourself, whose hands are in there? This is your life. You decide if anyone else is going to make that quilt with you, but they really can't, because this is your life. You're born alone and you're going to die alone. You live your life with someone, but you create your life. So you can include someone in your life, but you are still the one who's making that quilt. So it's so wrong that someone has their hands in your quilt, that you don't want those hands to be in your quilt, or you're not aware of it, or when you are aware of it, you can say, your suggestions are good, but only my hands can go into my life's quilt. You can come, I can cover you with, I can blanket you with my quilt after I make it. You can be a part of my life and and see my quilt, but you can't make my quilt because I am my quilt, right? So you are your life. You are your life. You are your quilt. And only you can create your quilt and can sew and make your quilt. When you want to make changes in your life and your quilt, only you can do that. So I really, really liked it, what I read a couple days ago, and I thought, I'm going to do That's So Wrong with that, because that is so wrong. If someone has their hands in your life's quilt, that you didn't want those hands in your life's quilt. If they are making your life for you, you can stop it today. If you say, I don't want that in my life, you can change it, because this is your life. You are the quilt. Your life is your own quilt. So take the hands out of the quilt making, if that's how you want it, and make your own quilt. You can get suggestions, you can learn and read. But the main thing I want to say too, though, to go forward with your quilt, and guess what, guys? I talk about what I know about what I'm doing. My life could be far, far, far better than it is right now. I'm some Malibu where I want to be, on the ocean, no. So that means if I'm not in my house in Malibu that I want to live in with an ocean view, that means that I still have some disempowering beliefs that I have to keep working on. Because until I get on the house in Malibu, that's what that means. I believe that. So I'm not just telling you to take people's hands out of your quilt, to understand that we create our own realities. Wait a minute. That we create our own realities, but we do, even me. So I'm just being totally transparent. My my goal is to have a house in Malibu with a view of the ocean. I don't have that house today. That means I still have work to do. And man, when I think about having to do that work, my first thought is like, man, still, I think that. I got to still do that work, like a little tantrum. But then I go, yeah, you do. So I go, okay, you're going to meditate still, do your affirmations, whatever is necessary. Sometimes I'm like, is this working or not? But you have to keep doing it. So I don't tell you something that I don't know about and that I don't do. I do it too. So take the person's hands out of your life's quilt, and tomorrow I'll come back with another. That is so wrong. But understand this. I love to say, that's so wrong, because it's kind of funny to me, because it's not a bad thing. It's just a thing that you should know. Take the hands out of your life's quilt. This is your life that you create. That's all it is. Thank you so much for watching, whoever's here. And yeah. I can't really see you guys. I'm gonna look. Let me see. Okay, I see a little bit. But next time I say hi. I don't know. Anyway, so have a great Tuesday. And tomorrow I'll be back with another That's So Wrong. I think I have 5 more left, because this is the 8th one. Yeah, 5 and 8 makes 12. No, 4 more. I have 4 more to do. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. with that's so wrong. Leave a message or a comment if you like. I'd appreciate it. And why don't you guys ever give me hearts? I want hearts and likes. So tomorrow, if you come on, give me some hearts and some likes. That would be really, really good. Okay. Bye. Have a great day. See you later.